www.vinnichaz.com. My guest is Vinni Chaz, and he is a teacher of music. And I want to ask him a series of questions about the challenge and the opportunity for us to learn how to play the piano, for us to help our children, our grandchildren, add that wonderful skill, quality to our lives. Hi, Vinni. Thanks for being here again.
Thank you.
Can you think back when you were a little child about what it was like to approach the task of learning how to play the piano? Can you?
Yeah, sure. A bit hard sometimes because, and I see this with students today and even adults, it doesn't matter the age. You can have a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of desire, and you need that, and that's good. But there's another side to it, and I hate to use the word discipline and focus, but it's a lot easier than people think, but we make it hard for ourselves because the enthusiasm and the energy, the desire to have it now can get in the way. And we have to give our bodies and our minds the time to grow so that you can do these things. It's almost like our minds and our desires are ahead of ourselves, you know. But if you can slow the person down enough to get in touch to where they're at physically and neurologically, then they can start growing and developing. And for everybody, but particularly children, it's a process that takes years. So
if a parent has a child and somehow another child gets enthusiastic, you know, others are in school or playing an instrument, the school encourages them or a parent does, and suddenly this child has this swell up desire to do it, but then somehow or another you, the teacher, taking advantage of your own experience, you say you got to calm that child down and get them to do the work.
yeah. And there's a bright side to that, though, because everybody's different going into this, adults and children. Everybody's absolutely different. So what I try to do is I recognize where the strengths are in the individual. And everybody has strengths and everybody has the weaknesses. So I feed the strengths so that the thing is a positive experience for people. And they see development and they see progress. So I want that to happen because I don't want discouragement to happen. So I want them to be encouraged. And so whatever they do that's positive. Some kids come at the piano and they sit, and I don't have to tell them much. They look at the music and they start to read, and they want to read, and they keep their eyes on it. Another student come in, and they're always looking down, and they're listening, and they're doing something else. That tells me that there's two different strengths going on. So I will, feed to the positive in the child.
I was just going to ask you, identify a strength, and you got there ahead of me. So one strength is a child who can come in and just start focusing on reading. And so is that a child that's already had some education, some experience?
It doesn't matter. It just seems to be, I'm not sure what it is, but it happens that some kids their strength is maybe their ear or their sight. They need to see and hear and experiment. That's what it is maybe. And another child doesn't have those interests. They're thinking of it, well, I need to read these notes, and that's how I'm going to learn, and that's what they do. And so, and the evidence of that is, I know plenty of friends, professional acquaintances, and some are just like that as adults. Some are wonderful readers, and then others have hardly any formal training, and they play fantastic because they relied on their ear and other instincts.
That's interesting. So you can spot the difference.
It happens fairly quickly with a child. And then I don't want to squelch anything about the learning process. I want to identify where their strengths are and let that run its course. And at the same time, for a child who's having trouble reading, I have to go slower with them and try other ways to get them to read, because it's beneficial to read, obviously.
Okay. Then there's this thing, timing, beats, okay? And I've always found it very difficult to read the music, not that I play piano, but even when I try to sing, to besides hitting the notes, moving the fingers, but to follow the beats, the timing. Do you find a lot of students who have the same problem? Or?
Yeah, I mean, there are students that have a lot of rhythm, and there are some that don't have a lot of rhythm. And I have to agree with some people that'll say you're born with certain things, certain inclinations and whatever. And so some kids have a lot of rhythm and they're ready to go, and others are going to struggle with it. But again, there's things you can do. Not to get technical about it, but you can have children learn by clapping and singing and going slow and everything, and they develop. Not everybody's the same. That's the message.
Okay.
So you can't approach it as if everybody is the same.
So you teach children, adults, the whole range?
My youngest students are 6, and my oldest, just till recently, I had a woman that was 80 years old studying piano. It was remarkable. And yet I saw the same dynamics I'm talking about can go on in an 80-year-old person and a 6-year-old. That's what's remarkable.
Okay. Do they come to your house in San Mateo?
Yeah, I teach in my home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I was wondering if you would be kind to play a song for us.
Sure.
And what are you going to play?
I think I'll play Emily, the tune Emily by Johnny Mandel.
Johnny Mandel. And why did you pick that song?
I picked it because recently I've been playing with my group, and when the concert was over or something, a number of times people would come up and say, "What's that tune?" And they'd start to sing the melody and everything, and it was Emily. And I don't know why, but people seem to, they know it, they hear that melody, it's a catchy melody, but they either haven't heard it in a long time or forgotten the name of it.
Would you be kind?
I'd be happy to. Thanks, Michael.
All right. So my guest is Vinni Chaz, and among other things, he teaches people how to play the piano.